well to be sat here.
There's people.
I know.
There's so many people.
You're not stuck in a house with the same people anymore.
I don't know. A bit numb.
Is it strange? Overwhelming?
Yeah, it's not.
Surreal?
Yeah, surreal, definitely. Numb.
What did you think to the reaction? When we've been saying your name throughout the night, it's been quite boo-heavy.
Yeah.
When you came out...
I thought it wasn't too bad. I saw my mum and my sister, that was nice, and saw everyone sort of smiling, so that was nice as well. And I saw your face. I know.
Hi, Jale.
I was all right, yeah. Not too bad.
You have survived eviction every week since the show started, so
4 weeks.
pretty much, you know, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Why do you think tonight was your night?
I've been a bit miserable the last week. I think when I had a week off last week, and then obviously kind of this week, maybe I became a little bit... I don't know, I think I had a 1 week break and I think I kind of maybe...
Does it make you get a bit complacent,
I think maybe I did, yeah. That week I had off. This week I had not a great week, I don't think. And also the week before that, when I was an assassin, that really threw me. OK. Yeah, maybe that was it. I can be a bit moody as well. I'm miserable and grumpy, so maybe that was it.
I don't think you've come across as moody, miserable and grumpy.
I can be if I don't meditate.
We've seen a difference in you, definitely, from the first couple of weeks.
I'm a lot more hot-headed when I'm not on it, and if my mind goes, then I become sort of unfocused, then I can be. Definitely, you'll see another side to me, yeah.
So let's go back to your first couple of weeks in the house, and you had a pretty horrible time. I would imagine what we saw looked pretty tough. It looked like you weren't having a great time. It looked like everyone was kind of against you. How was it for you in there, and how did you get through it? I think I'd have walked if I'd have been you.
To be honest with you, I think it's weird because I think when in these kind of situations, I kind of not thrive on it, but it's like a challenge for me. I have to. If I lose my mind and decide I'm going to go, I always said that if anything like that happens to me, I'm not going to give up because I will just use my stubbornness and keep going. Basically, it was. I've had these situations quite a lot before, so I just kind of try to sort of keep an open mind and get on with it, really, because I'm not going to ruin my experience for people.
It seemed to be that
the
one thing, though, you know, Pauline gave you that killer nomination, and she told people what she saw in your VT.
Yeah.
Now, everybody has a VT, and half of it comes across as I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other, and half of it you might see something that's quite appealing. So, so you were quite unlucky in that respect, because did you feel like everybody went on her word without really getting to know you?
It was really weird because it was almost like that person's word counted for the whole voice of the house, and I felt like people that potentially would have given me a chance before weren't able to because her voice was the only voice people... She might as well have been Big Brother. She had a lot of sway over the house. And quite frankly, I kind of got to the point where I thought, you know, I'm not going to keep selling myself to people. It just gets to the point where I don't really felt, you know, I need to do that, but...
Well, thankfully for you as well, she left. And that kind of seemed to be the turnaround, that and the task, I think, when lots of people said they felt like they misjudged you. And one of those people, obviously, was Helen, who you'd had a pretty horrible time with for 2 weeks. Did you feel like that was your turning point with her? Go on.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I feel... I see Helen really differently. I just see... I was kind of a little bit like her, like 5 years ago, where I was very angry with things and kind of very unhappy with myself. So for me, that kind of, you know, it's like almost not allowing someone to give me a chance if I kind of turn my back on her. I mean, obviously, she said some terrible things. She's admitted that to me.
Why did you want to allow her to become friends with you? Because she had been really not very nice.
Because I recognised myself in her, 100%. It's like basically turning my back on myself if I didn't give her a chance. That's how I honestly felt.
Some people did notice that you seemed to go from one group, the not-so-cool kids, as they're called, to the cool kids, as we saw Chris say, and as you saw Chris say. Do you think that's fair? Do you feel like there was a shift?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the kind of larger group from day one were the people that I sort of hang around with more now. And to be honest, they're more on my wavelength in terms of, you know, sort of drinking and sort of, you know, having a bit of a laugh and stuff. Not that the other guys aren't, but I just noticed in conversations that I'd have with them, I wasn't as much myself. I mean, I know that the last couple of weeks, that's who I am, and I could naturally be that within those people once they kind of got to know me a bit more. It's just the kind of people that I'd hang around with outside of here, that's kind of naturally who I'd gravitate towards.
And did you feel like you needed to be accepted by that group? To be able to enjoy your time in there, because that group and Helen specifically, she's quite a dominating figure. And if she doesn't like you, it seems like you're just going to have a miserable time. You know, Ashley is a perfect example.
Definitely,
I think. So do you think your time would have been much more you know, miserable had you not have been able to be friends with those people.
I think it's interesting because when I've been sort of sat with Ashley and Danielle and the other guys, I can consciously feel like I'm not as myself. I don't know, I felt like I was gravitating towards people that were definitely more my cup of tea and that I could have a laugh with and stuff. But, I mean, I wouldn't discount Danielle or, you know, or Christopher or anyone like that. It's just that as a group as a whole, like, Stephen absolutely makes me laugh. Kim, I love Kim. And obviously Helen does have a... I like winding Helen up. I love winding Helen up because it's brilliant. I just
now you can get away with it.
This is what I mean. This is what I keep doing. I think it's brilliant. Like, I love doing that. But I don't know. And Mark obviously have a crack. So it's more the kind of large group of people that I do relate to maybe a bit more as well.
Let's touch on Marlon. Kind of from the beginning when you got into the house, you've been friends with him the whole way along. Obviously this week we've seen him save himself and you were not very happy with him.
No, I was fuming.
How are things with him and you now?
It's a game. I didn't see that in the first couple of days. I was fuming. But
it is a game, but it depends if you play it as a game or if you play it as you know, to be equal and see how far you get on just being you.
That was definitely kind of the way I was doing it, but obviously I can't judge someone to going in there and playing a different kind of game. If he feels like that needs to validate him as a person, then I can't really sit and dictate what he should or shouldn't be doing. Obviously, I'm not happy with the fact that we saved, and then it kind of turned after the Girl Power Week when we saved him, and then this happened. It's disappointing, but I knew if I didn't kind of... I'm not inhumane. I'm not going to kind of beat the guy up. If he really does feel bad about that, that's down to him to sort of fight and battle with his demons in terms of the decision he's made. That's not down to me. And also, I just did think that obviously people are going to come in here and play a game. I've just got to give them the benefit and just keep being me, really. Yeah. I mean, it was a shame. I was very disappointed, but I mean, I've forgiven him, but I obviously haven't forgotten that because it's a big thing, isn't it? Like you said.
Well, who knows? If it has still been up, it could have been him here tonight and not you. We don't know.
Knows?
We've got to talk about Stephen and Kimberly.
Oh my goodness.
Because we've just all witnessed something that's happened in the house. It's not the first time, I don't think. They've been having happy times under the covers. How would you describe their relationship?
She's very guarded in terms of how she kind of gets to know people. She's not the kind of person until she really trusts someone, she won't open up, and even then, she can be quite guarded.
Well, she certainly has opened up.
Goodness me, apparently so. He's more outgoing. It's an introvert. Kimberly's very introvert and he's very extroverted, so I think emotionally they're very different people, but and I heard about the chalk and cheese comment. They are quite different, like, to each other, but I can see why they get on.
We've seen Mark mention tonight that the disco kind of had an awkward atmosphere about it because they were having a little bit of a tiff. Yeah. Is it awkward being around them?
Yeah, when they have their little loved-up coupley chats and all that, it can be a bit awkward, but I think everyone's awkward with it. And then obviously you've got the Ash and Helen situation, so I think people are coupling up now and it's kind of, people are just kind of... I was just getting on with it.
Do you think they'll last?
As a couple?
Yeah. Do you buy it? Do you believe it?
I know he really likes her, and I think she really likes him. Whether or not they'll last, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of trouble between them this week based on certain situations outside, and obviously I only know probably a minuscule part of that, but it depends what happens. Obviously I don't know everything, so it all depends on what I learn when I'm out of here, but I know they like each other at the moment. I know that much. Very quickly, any regrets about your time in there? No. You're happy with everything? Hopefully. So you've had a good time? Yeah, I had a brilliant time. Good. I had a brilliant time. That's hopefully the whole point of it. Thank you, yeah, oh, definitely. Jale, thank you so much. Here are your best. Thank you.